headquarters of common sense.
Talk Radio.
Hey Kevin, how you doing?
I'm good. You want to talk about your dad? Is he still over here in Britain?
Yeah, my father's in Chelmsford, Essex, undergoing some bladder cancer treatment for about 4 months now. Mm-hmm. And I was just informed today that his last 3 treatments have been cancelled because they don't actually have the medicine or the prescription or the serum, I think they call it, which they inject into your bladder to kill the cancer. So 3 treatments cancelled, and he's sitting there going, well, now what? I'm just wondering if anybody else experiencing that, where you're actually having your treatment cancelled because they're out of the serum or the anti-cancer, whatever it is.
I'm not sure if other people have stories similar to your poor dad's, Ted, but certainly people have lots and lots of stories about how the NHS is letting them down. I mean, no doubt your dad is experiencing, I don't know if he's spoken to you about this, but I bet when he goes there he has to wear masks and... you know, if people go to visit him, I mean, you don't visit people when they're being treated, I suppose, but, you know, if you go to only one relative is allowed to visit a patient and then only for a short amount of time. I mean, all these restrictions are still going on in the NHS, whereas the rest of the country, none of this stuff is happening anymore.
Yeah, well, he had to have surgery initially. My mother wasn't even allowed to wait at the hospital for him. She was sent home.
Oh, you're kidding. I mean...
No, and it was, you know, he could have died, and she was just sent home. I mean, here in America, my father-in-law unfortunately passed away with COVID 6 months ago, but we was in the room with him the whole time. They allowed the whole family in. They wouldn't separate us. We just had to wear some PPE. Mm-hmm. But we just were flabbergasted that she wasn't allowed to actually be at the hospital and wait outside the surgery. We just couldn't even fathom that.
It's just heartbreaking and infuriating and inhuman. I think inhumane. It's just wrong. It's totally wrong that a wife or a son or a father, you know, that relatives should not be able to visit their loved ones while they're sick in hospital. I cannot get my head around what the NHS thinks it's thinking about this. You're in Florida, though, Ted. You got Ron DeSantis, haven't you? He's been quite a libertarian when it comes to COVID restrictions. You're doing all right, aren't you, in that state?
Listen, I never experienced any lockdown whatsoever in Florida. They had about a 2-month lockdown on restaurants and bars, but I'm in a business that distributes meat products, so my business was exempt, and I'll tell you what, I went through the whole period of lockdown, went to work every day, made money every day, and still found restaurants and bars that just ignored the rules and allowed us to come in. In fact, one of the bars I was going to, the local sheriff said, if the guy wants to run the bar and make money, who am I to shut him down? And that place stayed open all the way through COVID. And they just let people do what they want to do. And
also, Florida, as one of the states that, took a very kind of easygoing attitude to the COVID rules and restrictions, no lockdowns and all that. And it ended up with much better COVID rates, much fewer deaths than the states that went crazy about it, like California and New York.
It's true, and I don't really know why that is. My wife works in healthcare and, at a senior retirement center. And, they had more deaths the 2 years before just over the flu. 2 years in a row in December, January, they had more fatalities from the flu than they did with the COVID. It's absolutely baffling.
Yeah, it really is. But I think you have a good governor there. Ron DeSantis is a good man and took a very sensible attitude to the COVID crisis, which is more than could be said for many other of the states of America and many other countries around the world, Britain being one of them. But I'm really sorry about your dad, Ted. I hope it works out for him. Keep us posted and give him our best regards, won't you? Thank you very much for your call.
Good talk. Hot talk.
Bold talk. Talk Radio.
Listen on your smart speaker.
Watch it live on your smart TV. The world headquarters of common sense.
Talk Radio.